The basic purpose for any economic development policy is to increase productivity across all sectors. On today's episode of Jamaica Magazine, we look at economic growth and job creation as a strategic priority of the government and how this policy is opening possibilities for all. Hello, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Welcome. Also in the program, the Jamaica Business Development Corporation and how they are facilitating hands-on training through their capacity building workshops, and how communities can participate in the activities for International Coastal Cleanup Day. Stay tuned. We have all this and so much more coming your way after the news.
Householders, business people, school administrators, protect yourself and your children from the chikungunya virus. Be on the alert. Help control the mosquito population. Chikungunya is a virus transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which breeds in and around your home, workplace, and school. Destroy breeding sites. Empty old tires and all other containers where water can settle. Bore holes in old cans. Cover water drums and garbage cans. Wash flower pots and vases and clean pet dishes regularly. Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Cover your body as much as possible and use mosquito repellent containing DEET. And if you're experiencing symptoms of chikungunya, a sudden high fever, headache, rash, nausea, pain, stiffness, or severe joint pains, see your doctor or go to the nearest health center.
Good day, I'm Tamara McHale, and this is your GIS News for Wednesday, September 17. Government continues to make deliberate moves to strengthen the support already being given to the micro, small and medium enterprise sector. The latest initiative is the Mobile Business Clinic, which was launched Tuesday. The Mobile Business Clinic will provide comprehensive business advisory services to persons across major town centers and remote communities around the island.
This is not a scattershot approach. We know exactly what the people want, and we are taking it to them. We won't be just rolling in and rolling out of these communities. We will be guided by information, and the JBDC will use these visits to develop their client bases, and of course, there will be follow-ups based on existing and future demands.
Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce Anthony Hilton added that the clinic will further bolster the MSME sector, fostering growth and competitiveness. For the next 12 months, the Mobile Business Clinic will be held monthly over a 3-day period in some 30 communities across the island. The clinics are slated to begin on October 29 and end on September 24, 2015. The Mobile Business Clinic is a public-private partnership involving the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, the National Commercial Bank, and Nissan Motors. The island is a step closer to finalizing its cybersecurity strategy to complement the 2010 Cybercrimes Act. This as the Ministry of Technology on Tuesday concluded a 2-day workshop involving various stakeholders. The workshop discussed and reviewed the contents of the cybersecurity strategy's 4th draft and proposed recommendations. It's anticipated that the document will be completed within 2 weeks.
The purpose of this validation workshop is to share the findings and the recommendations and to leave with a strategy, but more importantly, not just a strategy, but a specific action plan which can be implemented.
In a bid to ensure the sustainable development of the craft industry, government is throwing its support behind the newly established Craft Council of Jamaica. The council is made up of local craft traders, producers and other stakeholders. While addressing the council's inaugural meeting, Minister of Tourism Dr. Wickham McNeil challenged the group to develop a proper governance structure and regulatory framework for the industry.
In recognizing the need to more strategically streamline the industry and increase its contribution to the local economy, Cabinet has endorsed the development of a policy to govern the craft industry in Jamaica.
Stakeholder groups represented on the council include the Port Authority of Jamaica, Jamaica Business Development Corporation, Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts, Tourism Product Development Company, and the Ministry of Youth and Culture. The Ministry of Education has partnered with the Jamaica National Building Society on an educational program targeting 15 underperforming primary and secondary schools. The initiative, dubbed I Lead, is targeting the ministry's Region 2 schools, which are those in the parishes of Portland, St. Mary and St. Thomas, considered to be the country's weakest performing region.
In essence, the I Lead project has the important task of transforming these educational institutions by delivering to these schools a realistic identity that will enable them to assume their responsibility confidently in the educational process.
Addressing the launch ceremony on Tuesday, Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites lauded the public-private partnership.
What we're doing is marrying the vision and the imperative of the private sector, marrying it with a state entity, the Ministry of Education, the schools, the principals, etc., and saying that, shorn of all of the self-referential patterns of the past, shorn of all the private interests, we're going to do it well this time. We're going to transform it.
The project's priority focus is mathematics, literacy, and science, with the Education Ministry also providing full-time coaches to assist the targeted schools. The program will be carried out over a 3-year period, initially targeting 5 schools in the first year. Government is advancing work under a program to redesign pharmacies in the public health system that will allow persons timely access to medication. Permanent Secretary in the Health Ministry, Dr. Kevin Harvey, says persons living with HIV and AIDS and other serious illnesses will be able to fill prescriptions in a timely manner.
We have high hopes for the system to ensure that persons are able to get their prescription in a meaningful way, but in a timely manner, and to ensure that the supply chain management aspect is improved.
Dr. Harvey was speaking Monday at the opening ceremony for the Pan American Health Organization's Treatment Mission 2.0 at the UWI Mona campus. As part of the improvements to public health pharmacies, the National Health Fund is taking over operations and using a new management software to ensure that the supply chain is properly maintained. Already, the ministry is reporting a 60% increase in the number of customers served. And finally, as government continues its fight against the chikungunya virus, persons are being asked to join the effort by organizing cleanup activities. The Ministry of Health is encouraging persons to locate and destroy mosquito breeding sites around their homes, schools, churches, businesses, and the general community. As at September 12, the Ministry of Health has reported 26 confirmed cases of the chikungunya virus. And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Tamara McHale. Thank you for watching.
Yo, we don't want to lose you. That's why we're counting on you to stay safe on the road.
Drinking and driving and speeding are a recipe for death and disaster. As to using your cell phone while driving, a mad thing that.
Yeah man, either thing to call, surf the net, text, or visit the Facebook page while driving.
Do not use your cell phone while driving. If it is really urgent that you use your cell phone, pull over at a safe location on the road.
Arrive alive. Don't use your cell while you drive.
Let us go for road safety. All the time, every time.
A message from the NRSC and NHF.
In strategic priority number 2, economic growth and job creation, we review the Jamaica Business Development Corporation capacity building workshops geared towards building the service delivery of small businesses.
This government is determined to create the environment that will yield decent paying jobs for our workers in the logistics-centered economy.
An important part of that is building the capacity of businesses within the productive sector so they can generate more employment options. The Jamaica Business Development Corporation, the JBDC, is leading government's intervention in this area.
We are empowering our small businesses with technical skills, knowledge, and confidence.
This fiscal year, the JBDC is doing that through its capacity building workshops, which provide targeted intervention for entrepreneurs.
The objectives of the workshop is really to get entrepreneurs up to speed with the relevant specificities of the particular industry, and certainly training them how to be entrepreneurs as well and take advantage of these particular opportunities.
The initiative is not new but has been revamped to ensure that entrepreneurs are keeping up with current global workforce trends. The workshops cover critical technical matters that can build the managerial and operational outputs of a company.
Our workshops are tied to our overall work plan in terms of what our yearly objectives are. And what we try to do is to have an integrated approach to workshops. So we tend to have sessions teaching persons about intellectual property, teaching persons about building your brand, teaching them how to properly cost and price your products, how to market your products, how to operate your business operations more efficiently. So they become more integrated.
This year's workshops are introducing some unique elements that reflect emerging global trends, like programs in paper flora creation, sand beading, jewelry making, and lavishly leather sandals making.
We have also coming up a series of baking workshops and bake product workshops, cake decorating workshops. Normally towards the end of the year we have a food workshop which is about doing all the wonderful cakes and stuff for Christmas and so on. So we have quite a wide range of workshops.
These capacity building workshops are responding to the government's strategic focus on job creation and economic growth.
A person would have come here probably doing something as a hobby or just as an interest. They hear about a workshop and they come here, and they would now transition into being their own business owner. We have also seen where we have in other workshops where we have taught people skills. For example, we've had leather craft workshops and sandal making workshops in the past where participants from those workshops have become employees of established shoemaking and sandal making entities. So we see it as a direct contributor of employment creation, where persons can now use their skills to either seek employment with a local company or to use those skills to expand their own employment.
A detailed calendar of the workshops can be found on the JBDC's website, jbdc.net. You can also call the corporation's Incubator Resource Center at 758-3966 or 758-3967.
Want to know more about the Jamaica Logistics Sub-Initiative? What of the proposed transshipment port at Goat Islands? Or the jobs to be provided when the hub is fully implemented? Then sign up for the Logistics 101 training course. This free course is available when groups or organizations make a request.
The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce website, the Logistics Sub-Task Force, and you can register. As long as you have a cohort, we'll take it to you.
Increase your awareness about logistics. Call 968-7116.
The National Youth Service, through its summer work program, continues to groom Jamaican youth for service in the labour market. Let's take a look at the highlights from the program hosted this summer.
Persons in our age group have never really experienced the discipline that comes with getting up, going to work, getting instructions, carrying out tasks, meeting deadlines, and we want to expose them to that.
And so, the National Youth Service, NYS, has been partnering with a number of public and private companies to give 17 to 24-year-olds well-needed work experience through its annual summer work program. About 4,900 youth benefited from this summer's program, which empowered them to achieve their fullest potential while being exposed to the working world.
It also offers experience which we can actually apply to our resume that helps to develop the resume. So when we're applying for jobs, it's quite easier to get considered for certain positions.
I see it as a learning process for persons who are actually looking to go out there into the world of work, right? So even if, at this point in time where we have faults, this is where we learn how to curb those issues.
And with its computerized selection process, the NYS places participants, including those with disabilities, in government ministries and agencies and private companies across the island.
Once you have the minimum qualifications, then you're entered into a database and a randomization process takes place and persons are selected.
To qualify, participants are required to have 3 CXC subjects. In preparation for placement, the participants undergo a mandatory 2-day work orientation session. At the sessions, they are introduced to proper work ethics, deportment, and professional communication practices.
What we hope to achieve is a cohort of summer program participants who are better aware of what it is, what work is. We're hoping that the participants will leave the program not just with a stipend that we pay at the end of the 3 weeks, but also with meaningful relationships. We're hoping that our participants will have meaningful interactions and will leave with mentors and lifelong relationships that will help in their professional development.
I am looking forward to gain more knowledge on different organizations, to associate myself with people and learn how different persons communicate and work in the working world. And also, I'm looking forward to just build a new image and character to my own self.
What I hope to gain is experience in the volunteerism field, and because I will be soon be entering the working world, I want the job experience.
For me, it helps me to be prepared for what the world has to offer. It also helps me to understand everything that the working world is like.
This program will allow youths, especially my age, to develop proper work ethics. It will also help us in developing socially.
The National Youth Service is proud of its achievement and continues to empower youth to develop their fullest potential.
The JIS will be having its first poster competition. And guess what? It's all about our heritage. The theme, We Are Free. All secondary level students are eligible to compete, and the posters can either be digitally designed or illustrated. The rules are simple. First, complete an entry form online from the JIS website. Posters will be judged on your interpretation of the topic, originality, neatness, and presentation. Digital posters should include only the images from a collection accessible on the JIS website. Posters should be no longer than 11 inches by 17 inches. All digital posters should be submitted electronically through a cloud storage service such as Dropbox, SkyDrive, or Google Drive, while illustrations must be taken into the head office or Montego Bay office. Posters should be submitted by Friday, October 31, 2014. Please ensure that you keep a copy of your poster after submission. Yes, there are going to be prizes and surprises for the top 3 students and the top participants. Just in case you need more details to be part of the fun, call JIS at 926-359024, extension 2137, or email heritageposter@jis.gov.jm. Don't delay, get started on your poster now.
Community tourism offers visitors the opportunity to explore Jamaica by meeting with people in their communities. This model, while preserving our national heritage, also contributes to the improvement in the quality of life in local communities. According to the Tourism Product Development Company, TPDCO, community tourism empowers people to be more aware of the value of their community assets, their culture, heritage, cuisine, and lifestyle. It mobilizes them to convert these into income-generating projects while offering a more diverse and worthwhile experience to visitors. Every citizen is a potential business partner to be trained in small business management, environmental awareness, product development, and marketing. Community tourism promotes hospitality as an all-inclusive service and not just something that is provided where the visitor stays. So, want to reap the benefits while showing your little slice of Jamaica? Contact the TPDCO at 968-3441, 968-1909 or 968-3626.
Yeah, man! Are you listening, my island people? Feel the spirit of wonder, the positive vibration, the rhythm of one nation. Hey, come and feel the spirit. One love, one heart. I said, let's get together and feel alright. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We must ensure that as we continue to offer world-class tourism product, we continue to protect our environment. To this end, International Coastal Cleanup Day will be hosted on September 20, 2014. We'll learn more in this, our next feature.
Pristine beaches, white sand, thriving marine life, natural offerings that beckon thousands of visitors to our shores, more than enough reason to protect the country's coastline. Government is also fully aware of the link between protecting our coastline and development, so much so that state entities use every opportunity to take action. One such opportunity is International Coastal Cleanup Day 2014. Jamaica will join the globe this Saturday, September 20, to observe International Coastal Cleanup Day. The Jamaica Environment Trust, JET, and the Tourism Enhancement Fund, as lead coordinators of the day's activities, are working together to ensure Saturday's cleanup effort is a success.
Within tropical countries, we are dependent on the environment and the preservation of that environment for that product, tourism product. What we have seen is that in particular plastic bottles and plastic containers are highly prevalent on these beaches.
That kind of debris will be targeted by teams who will fan out along the Helsha Beach in Portmore St. Catherine. Those teams will comprise staff of several state entities, including the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, and the Urban Development Corporation, UDC. Andrea Donaldson is the manager of NEPA's Ecosystems Management Branch, and she's particularly concerned about the danger debris poses to wildlife.
Persons have cut open seabirds and found plastic caps, pieces of plastic bags. There are animals, leatherback turtles, who eat jellyfish, and a plastic bag looks like a jellyfish, and consumption of that plastic bag can also kill them.
Besides the work at the Helsha Beach, teams will be deployed to the day's main activities at Fort Rocky Beach, a 3-mile stretch along the Palisadoes Strip in Kingston.
We're inviting everyone to come out because we recognize that this may be the only way we can teach the public about why it's very important to dispose of their garbage properly.
Through the International Coastal Cleanup Day projects, government entities aim to send clear messages about the connections between people, nature, and prosperity. Dumping garbage in the wrong places isn't only unsightly, it harms birds, animals, and humans as well. Close to 140 coastal areas have been registered for cleaning this Saturday. The Jamaica Environment Trust says 11 underwater cleanup projects will also be tackled to rid the seabed of debris. Teams will also clean several rivers and gullies, channels which often become the gateway for litter in the sea and onto the coastline. JET is hopeful that the combined effort will yield as much success as last year when 6,000 volunteers removed over 65,000 pounds of trash from our beaches. Globally, the figure was over 12.3 million pounds of debris from coastlines and waterways, collected by more than 648,000 volunteers in 92 countries.
Unfortunately, we produce far too much garbage, and a lot of the times that garbage reaches our beaches. So it not only affects the animals that you find at sea, but for recreation as well. We have these very dirty beaches very often, and it is as a result of our failure to manage waste properly.
Besides picking up garbage, local volunteers are needed to help collect data about the sources and types of trash harming our oceans and waterways. This data will be used to raise awareness, inspire recycling efforts, and shape policy decisions from the local to international level. Civic responsibility aside, there is also another good reason to volunteer.
It's a fun day for family. It's a learning experience.
Find the list of registered cleanup projects by clicking on JET's website at jamintrust.org. And if you can't make it to one of the registered sites, rally your neighbors and friends, form a cleanup crew, and visit a nearby beach. Help remove unwanted material from the shoreline. Remember to wear comfortable clothing, and don't forget a broad hat to shield you from the sun.
Wet hands with water. Apply enough soap to cover all hand surfaces. Rub hands palm to palm. Right palm over left dorsum with interlaced fingers and vice versa. Palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Backs of fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked. Rotational rubbing of left thumb clasped in right palm and vice versa. Rotational rubbing backwards and forwards with clasped fingers of right hand in left palm and vice versa. Rinse hands with water. Dry hands thoroughly with a single-use towel. Use towel to turn off faucet. Your hands are now safe.
Life is all about making decisions, choosing from a number of options to do a particular thing, which may result in a specific outcome.
It can be difficult, but there are 4 things you can do to help make that decision.
Stop. Check out what's happening and remind yourself to think before acting.
Think. Make sure you're aware of the choices, all the advantages and disadvantages. Then think about the consequences.
Act. Choose the best option and do something about it.
Review.
Finally, review what you have done and determine if it was good or bad. That way, you'll be in a better position to make the next decision, whether big or simple.
Visit our Facebook page or send us a tweet on how your community is positioning itself to serve the tourism sector. Stay up to date through our website and YouTube channel. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Jamaica Magazine. On behalf of the hardworking and dedicated production team, note this: you will not always win. Some days, the most resourceful individual will taste defeat. But there is, in this case, always tomorrow. After you have done your best to achieve success today, so says Maxwell Morgs.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.